In today's video, I'm going to give 7 tips on how to get recruited in football and basketball. Let's get into it. I will be talking about my experience through the recruiting process. I have been through the process with my brother Daniel, who went to play college basketball, and myself, who just signed to play college football at Olivet Nazarene University. The recruiting process for basketball and football are exactly the same, so make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video so you picked up all the information you need to get recruited. Starting with number 1, you need to figure out what level you think you can play at. You have to have a realistic view of yourself. You need to have a circle around you of people who you can trust and advise you. To be honest, in most cases, it won't be your mom and dad. They see things through parents' goggles and they tell you can play at Division I when realistically, they don't really know. You need to rely on your coaches, if that's your high school coaches, AAU coaches, college coaches, or former or current athletes that's currently playing. Your parents are a very important part of the recruiting process, but most parents don't understand the college talent and how to evaluate it. Number 2, I'll be talking about NCSA, Next College Student Athlete. I'm going to be talking about it through my experience. Pros of NCSA, they are good with helping you create and make a highlight tape to send out to college coaches. NCSA is a great place to compare schools and see if you fit in athletically or academically. NCSA is great for emailing coaches. They have many templates you can select from. You can do mass emails to coaches. I do not suggest doing mass emails. I say make custom emails to each coach using their name to build more of a personal connection. Here are some cons of NCSA. Through my experience and what have college coaches told me is there's no evaluation on NCSA. Anybody from the age 13 and up can create an account and start emailing coaches. There's hundreds and thousands of emails unopened because there's so many emails sent to coaches and coaches don't have enough time to open them. So majority of the time, coaches have a lower level staff that's opening the emails and sending generic responses or not even sending responses back. Cost versus value of NCSA. If I had to personally redo it all over, I would have just got the free account for NCSA. I ended up paying a lot of money for an account that really didn't help me in the recruiting process. Any athlete can download NCSA, create emails, and send them to coaches. I prefer doing that if you're trying to get recruited. I would not spend the extra money with the private calls and paying people to make highlight tapes for you. That's not worth it because NCSA really doesn't help recruiting that much just because the fact college coaches does not open NCSA emails. That was just my experience with NCSA. If there's other recruiting websites that you want to pay money for and use, go ahead and do it, but I'll just let you know through my experience, I didn't have the best with NCSA. Now moving on to number 3. Once you have narrowed down and wish to pursue what level you want to play at, make a list of schools, your dream schools, your reach schools, and schools you know you can play at for sure. Because you are a student athlete, you need to check on the academic side of things when picking your schools. Does the school provide your major? Do the schools provide the classes you want to take? Do the schools provide the values that you might believe in? Do you even qualify academically? Do you have a high enough GPA? Do you have a high enough ACT? Over the past couple years, colleges are not using ACT scores anymore. They're going off GPA. That's why it's very important for athletes that's trying to get recruited to have a good GPA. These are all factors I had to look at going through the recruiting process. I had coaches and family help me, making sure I landed exactly where I wanted to be. Moving on to number 4, I'm going to be talking about the fit. The fit is one of the most important parts of the recruiting process. Questions you need to ask yourself when going through the recruiting process that I ask myself personally are, why do I want to go to the school? Would I be okay with living there for 4 years? Is the school's values in line with your own? How much does the school want you? How much does the coaches want you? Do you trust the coaches? Something I've heard and experienced over the years are coaches lie to you. I've never personally experienced this of coaches lied to me. Olivet was great to me, but I've heard coaches lying to other players saying this, that, you're going to play, you're going to start. Coaches do anything to lie to you to get you on their team and in their school. Question you need to ask coaches when they're recruiting you. Can you play at that school? What are their position needs? What style of offense or defense do they run? Can they run the ball? Do they throw the ball? Is it the right offense for you? If you're a wide receiver, do you want to go to a running school? Probably not. That's why I think these questions are very important when you talk to a college coach. All of these things go into the fit. You might want to have your coaches help you, teachers, parents, or someone with great knowledge that understands how it works. Now moving on to number 5, I'm going to be talking about offers. Offers are definitely one of the most confusing things in the recruiting process. First, let's talk about Division I offers. Division I offers can be full rides for any sport. Any Division I school that has a sport, they can offer 4 rides for. You need to understand that there's 2 offers. There's a committable offer and an uncommittable offer. Let me explain this. A committable offer is you can take a pen and paper, write your name, and say, hey, I'm committed to you. I want to go play at your college. Uncommittable offer is the college offers you, but you can't sign your name down and commit yourself to go play there. So therefore, it's not really an offer. However, 80% of Division I offers are uncommittable. That means 80% of people don't get the actual chance to sign and go to that college to play the sport. For example, all Power 5 schools offer more scholarships than they have available. Schools have a ranking board, and if they offer 10 players for one position and one of the top players in that position signs and commits to the school, that means all the other scholarships are not committable, as of those players cannot sign because they already got the top dog to commit. If there's a school really interested in you and they offer you, ask the coach straight up and say, hey, how many other kids in this position have you offered? If you really want to go to that school, ask, where am I at in that list? You want to find out before you go to the school how many other kids they might bring in, or if there's another kid that might commit and kick you out to not commit. You want to know that information, so just ask your coach and see what they have to say. 80% of offers can't be signed. Coaches in schools use offers just to show interest. This is why you see so many kids on Twitter saying, I got offers from here, here, here. They're not actually committable offers. They're just interested in them. That is a very dirty secret colleges use. Kids think they have all these offers and they think they can sign until signing day comes around, and they don't actually have those offers. So it's very dirty. Make sure you talk to your coaches clearly about the recruiting, and if you're getting an offer, make sure it's committable. And if it's not committable, make sure you show them that you're interested to give them more interest in you. Now let's talk about Division II and NAIA offers. To understand how the offers work, you need to understand how the money works and how schools can afford it. In Division II and NAIA, the schools allow the coaches to have so much money to spend on players for scholarships. From what a coach told me at a football camp, a NAIA and a Division II offer can be anything from a ham sandwich all the way up to a full ride. So if someone tells you that you cannot have a full ride at a Division II or NAIA school, that is completely wrong. If you get a full ride at one of those schools, that means you're a really good player and the school really wants you, and they're giving you a lot of athletic money. It all depends on how much money the college coach has athletically to spend on you. Along with athletic money, there's academic money you can apply and get as well, depending on what your ACT score is, if the school's testosterone or not, and your GPA. When a Division II or NAIA school offers you and you receive your package, you will be able to see how much academic money you received and how much athletic money you received. Let's talk about Division III for a second. Division III cannot offer athletic money, but that does not mean there's not money you can receive. You can receive academic money and different scholarships. Remember this too, if you sign and commit to a Division II, a Division III, and an NAIA school, anything in that package is negotiable. Just talk to your coaches and get a good relationship. Moving on to number 6, now I'm going to be talking about dealing with coaches. When you have the opportunity to speak with a coach, do not waste their time. Cut right to the chase and tell them what you are about. Remember, a coach's time is very valuable, so respect it. With that being said, you have to be advocate for yourself. Less is always more for coaches. When talking to a coach, the first thing a coach will always ask you is, what are your grades like? Do not lie to the coach. If you lie to the coach and they have serious interest in you and they dig deeper and find out you have bad grades, they're not going to hit you up and they're not going to recruit you anymore. The recruiting process is so competitive. What I've been told from college coaches is if there's 2 players that are really good football players, they're going to go ahead and look at their social media. And if their social media is crap, if they have bad photos if it's inappropriate, they're not going to recruit them. That is the number one way players do not get recruited, is through social media. I cannot explain and express to have a clean social media. I've been told by many coaches that I had a very clean social media and they liked how my social media looked. I have my Twitter pop up here so you guys can see what to have in your Twitter. Most importantly, have your highlights. If you don't have your highlights, what are coaches supposed to watch? Like I said, social media can be a huge negative when recruiting an athlete. Also, social media can be a huge positive when recruiting an athlete. Olivet recruited me on Twitter. They hit me up in the DMs saying, hey, we want you to come to a camp and so forth. This is very important. The new generation, my generation, the younger generation, is going to have Twitter, Instagram. DM coaches, comment on their threads. Let them see your name. You need to follow as many coaches as you want. All your target schools, your dream schools, you need to follow them, DM them. It is huge. Twitter is very, very good in the recruiting process for this year and moving on forward. The past generations didn't have this experience for social media, but we do, so make sure you take advantage of it and use Twitter, use Instagram, message coaches. Now moving on, last but not least, number 7, talking about camps. camps are very important, and it's going to be a long segment, so make sure you get your pen and paper, write information down, because it's going to be very informational. I've been going to camps through 8th grade all the way to my senior year, and my camp experience has been crazy. I've been to colleges all over the country for camps, and I'm going to share with you some advice and what type of different camps there are and what camps you need to attend. There are 2 camps I'd like to talk about. The first one are instructional camps. Instructional camps are camps with no college coaches. You're just there to work on your mechanics, getting your feet right, hips, whatever position you are. They have position camps and different things, but that is just for your mechanics. The second camp I'd like to talk about is showcase and recruiting camps. These are with college coaches there, and these are recruiting camps putting you in front of college scouts, getting you looked at, hopefully to get an offer. Through my freshman and sophomore year, I went to instructional camps throughout the summer. Going up to my junior and senior year, I went to showcase camps. This gave me the ability to present my athletic ability in front of coaches, showing them what I can do and what I got in me. This is when I received my first offer from Olivet. I went to a camp, I had a great camp, they pulled me into the office and they offered me right there. So if you ask yourself, what camps do I attend and how many should I attend? Well, this is what I'm here to tell you. Like I said before, the list of schools that I told you to make, your dream schools, your reach schools, and the schools you can play at, this is what you should do. You should only pick 2 to 3 camps from your dream schools. The only reason you want to pick 2 to 3 is because there's going to be so many kids. I've been at camps where there's over 1,000, and I've only got 1 to 2 reps, and I pretty much went there and bought an expensive t-shirt, and that's not what this is about. You want to go there and get evaluated from college coaches. If you're going to a big school just to post it and look cool, you're not there for the right reason. You're there to get evaluated, and spending a lot of money just to get a couple reps is not worth it. But the experience is super fun, so that's why I say go to 1 or 2, but that's it. Going on to your reach schools. Your reach schools, go to 5 to 10 to 15 camps if you can. I went to 20 plus Division II schools because I knew my athletic ability and I knew I was going to fall within the Division II range. And so I went to as many Division II camps as I could, and I got a lot of exposure going to those camps, and it really helped me out. One thing I cannot stress enough, if you go to a camp and none of the coaches know who you are, it's already a waste of money. So make sure before you go to the camp, message them on Twitter, email them, find their Instagram, do whatever you can, get in contact with them, let them see your name before you get to the camp. If the camp is the first time they see your name, it's already a waste. Unless you're a 5-star show out, it's a different story. But make sure the coaches know who you are, or at least heard of your name and saw it on paper before you attend the camp. Now I'm going to talk about how to stand out at camps. There's good ways to stand out, and there's bad ways to stand out. I'm going to go ahead and start with the good ways. The good ways is always show up on time and be prepared. Make sure you have your cleats tied, get a good stretch, and start throwing before the whole camp starts. That just shows you're there and ready to go. Second of all, when you're doing drills, hop up first. Run from station to station. I was that guy. I always made sure I was the first one there, and I always led my group of quarterbacks no matter what camp I went to. Be that guy that's always running. Be that energetic. Second of all, always listen to the coaches. Even if you have a private coach back home or someone tells you different and the quarterback coach at the school is trying to teach you different, just listen to them. Be coachable. That's all you're there for, is to be coachable, and you're also there to get recruited. So if you're not going to be coachable, why would they want to recruit you? So whenever you're there, just do whatever they say and it'll go a long way. When coaches are instructing a drill, always be watching. Take a knee if everyone else is taking a knee. Keep your eyes on the coach. Don't break eye contact. That's very important to the coach. It makes it look like you're paying attention, which you should be if you're at a camp paying money to get better. Another way to stick out is when you start throwing routes, don't let your first route be a 60-yard bomb. That's not. You can do that later. First of all, get a slant, get a hitch, get a 10-yard in, get a dig, get an out, get a post. Just don't go there and just throw bombs the whole time. Quarterbacks, coaches want to see that you're very accurate. Now I'm going to talk about the negatives that I see kids do all the time at camps. Starting off is wearing accessories. I see kids wear arm sleeves, hats, bracelets, bands, all that. There's no need for that. If there's any distractions, college coaches are just going to look at it and look right by you. They do not want to have any distractions on their field or in their locker room. So if you're going to a school that you really want to be recruited, don't wear that backwards hat unless you're 6'5" and got a cannon. That's different. Like I mentioned before, but I want to make this very clear. Before you go to any camps, make sure you know who the coaches are and you've talked to them. You do not want to go just buy an expensive t-shirt. You can do it for the experience once or twice. Do not go buy an expensive t-shirt if the colleges do not know who you are. It's a waste of money, a waste of time when you could be back home getting better. And when you're at camps, give it your all. You're there to put on a show for the coaches. You want to show them what you are all about. You want to sell yourself to them to show them that you're hardworking and you're a good athlete. Do whatever it takes to put your name and put yourself at the top. As I wrap up this video, I hope I taught you guys a little something about recruiting that you didn't know. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, comment them. My Instagram will be down below. You can also DM me. I'm open. I'm willing to help anybody. If you guys have film you want me to evaluate, since I've been through this whole process, I'll evaluate it and I'll let you know what I think. If you guys haven't checked out my signing day video to Olivet, make sure you guys check that out. And remember guys, it's all about the fit. With all that being said, see you guys later. Peace out.